Hey friend. So today is Gate 59, the Gate of Sexuality. Dispersion. This is fun. So the dispersion piece of this is all about the dispersion of the gene pool. We are meant to be unique and differentiated, and how we do that is having a diverse gene pool. So the 59th gate, as we move along here in our third quarter of duality, it sits in the Sacral Center here in the body graph. So it's all about the ability to break down barriers to achieve union. This is the gate of sexuality. This gate is tribal, and it's in the defense circuit. And the defense circuit is all about procreating and then nurturing our young. So this side of the sacral center is, this 59th gate is procreation. So this gate generates our genetic strategies for sexual bonding. So how do we bond? The first line is the pursuer or the pursued, and that is obviously spelt wrong. Who are you chasing after? Who's chasing after you? The critical piece here, strategy and authority. Our genes, our genetic imperative is what we don't have in our body graph. So what is white in our body graph? What isn't consistent and reliable in an energy that we carry? There's this genetic imperative to bond with that and to co-create and procreate with that. However, it's really important that instead of just listening to the not self, which we should never listen to, design indicates pay attention to strategy and authority. How are you getting into the relationship? Is it through your strategy? And then are you listening to your inner authority to say yes or no to an intimate relationship with someone? I look back at my relationship with, I call him my husband, we're not married, but we've been together for 27 years. And it was fun to see how our strategies and our authorities were completely operating that night, whether we knew it or not, which we didn't have a clue. But he's a manifester, and he was initiating it. And he was speaking from his authority when I look back at that conversation. And again, I was also strategy and authority. I was having coffee at a friend's house, and literally my body picked me up and moved me out of her house. There was a response, and that response really, it was coming from the universe, obviously, to have us meet. We actually met right on the road outside of her house. And that was the very first, that was the very first interaction that we had to move us into this relationship. So it was interesting to watch that. And I'm a first line being, so being pursued. Second line, shyness, boldness. Ken's the second line. He was being very bold that night. Also a manifester. Third line, bonds made, bonds broken. I'm also a third line. So what I see in my bonds made, bonds broken are, I've had numerous friendships over the years, which we all do. And this is just a part of who I am. Bonds are made, bonds are broken. And I don't hold on to people. It's pretty much impossible being a third line person to do that. My open spleen would like to at times, but I just let people go. And I know that if and when we are meant to meet again, we will. And if not, that's okay. We interacted and at the moment and fulfilled something in each other's lives, whether that be for 1 second crossing, past, meeting each other on the street, or you know, maybe having a friendship for, you know, a few years and then just growing apart, and that's okay. The fourth line, confidant or not, friends first. You have to be friends with whomever you're going to procreate with. If you're a fourth line being and you are having a whole bunch of one night stands, very, very, very unhealthy for your being. Fifth line. So this is about the seducer or being seduced. And I watch these fifth line people. So even though the 59th gate, and I should probably explain this. So the 59th gate, all of these lines are in here. And whether you have this defined or not, whatever your profile number is, this is how you bond. And so if you're, you know, 1-3 like myself, or, you know, a 2-4, or, you know, 4-6, you know, whatever that is, 5-1, your bonding strategy is indicated through this energetic. Now, it doesn't matter if you have it defined or not in your chart. That does not matter. Seducer or seduced. So I watch the fifth line people, and it is very, very fascinating to watch them seduce people. And now that I know it, I can just, I pay attention to how they move, how their body moves, you know, how they particularly lean into conversations. I watch this with men and women all the time, and it's really fun to watch how they are being seduced and they are seducing when they're having conversations, when they're just walking. It's really fascinating. The sixth line, soulmate or not. Here you definitely can have one night stands. The sixth line is a very aloof being. And that interaction really indicates immediately, is this person going to be my soulmate or not? Ken's a sixth line being. So it's been fun to watch our relationship and watch how our profile has played a huge role into our interactions and how we actually met. So the 59th gate is all about selecting the right partner. This is about procreation, people. This is about having children. And on a very, you know, genetic, sexual level. And it is also about creation. So in the business world, it's about creation. So there's this procreation that happens here, and it's very tribal. Again, we're here to, you know, make more and then take care of those more. And then, you know, the most important thing always, strategy and authority. What are you eating? Strategy and authority. How are you getting into relationships? Strategy and authority. How are you making decisions on big life changes? Strategy and authority. How are you making decisions on jobs? Strategy and authority. That's it. No matter, I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, and I have been in all of these videos. I could talk to you for days on your chart, days. And I am going to continue to repeat strategy and authority. If you're not using it, all of this is bullshit and just feeding the not self mind. And then, you know, the next thing you know, you're grabbing your pendulum and you're trying to make a decision from the pendulum. The whole point of this, of human design, is to drop into your strategy and authority for everything in life. So the not self, what is going to happen here? It'll just jump into relationships prior to strategy and authority. You know, it'll be so turned on sexually that it'll just jump in. And again, the juiciness of that sacral center, like that sacral center is running our world. 70% of the population have the sacral center as a definition. It's powerful as hell. And when you don't have it defined, it is very seductive, right? You want to get in there. You want to be in that juiciness. I watch how mostly projectors are can become addicted to sex because they don't have that sacral, and they are just sexual fiends because they want to have that juice. Manifestors, they can become sexual fiends as well, not as much, but I do notice it more so with the projectors, that, you know, sex becomes the ground floor of all relationships. And, you know, when it's an intimate relationship, and really for projectors, that can get dangerous. That can get dangerous. So if human design is, you know, of interest to you in any way, shape, or form, I would love to have the opportunity to synthesize your design, walk through your career information with you, entrepreneurial information if that's where you are, small business, large business owner, family practice, you know, child development, man, the list can go on and on. But thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.